gotta like, well, it can't get worse than this, right? And it's just, it's like, well, I gotta see where it's going. I'm the guy that will inevitably die in some sort of horror-esque things, and you'll be like, Jacob, why did you go down the alleyway? Well, I was just so curious. I needed to know.
Three beans in a pod, talking movies. Three beans in a pod, you know we groovy.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hello.
You'd laugh. What's up?
What's up? Welcome to the Three Beans podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Micah.
There we go. Perfect.
Nailed it.
So this is our podcast. We're just going to
Put
be
my
talking
name
about.
on the check.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to be talking movies and pop culture. A little bit about us. We all work together, and we essentially just waste time talking about movies day to day. And it has been something that has been really fun, and we would just love to do it more often. And so, as we do our intro, we're going to go ahead and swing it off and talk about our top three movies. I'll go first. Top three movie, easily number one, Back to the Future. Number two is going to be Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And number three is going to be Jojo Rabbit. I really love all three of those movies. I feel like they're all very different. And so I was just kind of throwing variety in there.
I'll go next. My name's Micah, by the way. Top three movies, which I feel like for all of us, at least for me, changes often, right? My first
Yeah.
one, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, fire. We saw that one together.
Top tier.
Fire.
Top tier.
Gosh, so good.
Waiting
My
on that.
favorite
Waiting
Spider.
on that new one. It was supposed to come out 2
I'm
years ago.
I'm indifferent. That's my favorite Spider-Man movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Number two, another recent one. All y'all know I talk about this all. Transformers One, fire. I convince all y'all to go see it.
I
Fire
can't
movie.
believe that's in your top 3 of all time right now. I mean, it's a great
It's
movie.
pretty
I do
good.
think.
It's
It's
so
pretty
good.
good.
I
It's
just
so
watched a
good.
scene on YouTube, and it was the scene where he turns into Megatron. I was like, this movie was great. It's a real shame
It's
they're
It's
not
so
getting a sequel.
good. I
yeah,
love that
like
movie.
here's the thing. Even from an animated movie, it is the story's really good. Character
Yep.
development really good.
Yep.
No
Fire.
complaints. No notes. No
Fire.
notes. It's great. It's great.
Fire. And
Some
number
notes.
three, the reason I put this one on there because it's my most recommended movie I give people if they haven't seen it, and that's Prisoners.
Oh, that's a
Fire
good movie.
movie.
That's a good one. I thought you were gonna say Tokyo Drift, but
No, everyone's seen that one, and everyone
I
knows it's a great movie.
actually preferred the monologue from Prisoners when he's in the truck yelling at Jake Gyllenhaal. That was an intense thing to even
Hmm.
attempt. I can't imagine like actually acting that day in day out.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say my top 3 really it does move around a lot. Super malleable. Depends on what I'm feeling. Right now, just got done with spooky season, so my number one movie because I just rewatched it again is gonna probably have to be The Thing. I love that movie, and they just
nice.
announced a
Hmm.
potential sequel maybe sometime in the near future, unless John Carpenter dies or he's just messing with us, which isn't out of character for him. And then number 2 is kind of a cheat. Lord of the Rings, the entire trilogy. I I can't really choose just one. I feel like it's one complete story, so you kind of got to watch all of them. And then number 3, oh, I don't have anything cerebral or like big, like oh my god, look at those acting. I like my set pieces. I like my pretty visuals. So I'm gonna probably say Terminator 2. 'Cause I love that
That's a
movie.
good one.
I think that movie is
It's good.
legitimately a masterpiece.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, that's here's the thing. Really good top three on all of these. But so that's a little bit about us, and that's a little bit about like kind of who we
Except for
are and the
Ryan.
movies. What are you talking about?
Back to the Future 3 should have been number 1, but
Here's the thing. That's debatable. That's debatable. Here's the thing. I don't hate Back to the Future 3. I'm not huge into westerns, and that's just something that I'll
Mm.
have to grow into. It is pretty
So
bad though, because I don't like. Here's the thing. Everybody's gonna hate me. Everybody's gonna like come for me after this. I don't like country music, and I don't like westerns. And somehow I moved from California to Texas full time.
Come on,
So I,
because you love
it's
it.
gonna get there eventually. with that being said, I think that the catalyst for that conversion in me liking those would be Back to the Future 3 because one, I love Back to the Future. Two, I actually did like the movie. Is it my favorite one out of all of them? No, but I did make a birthday montage and I used a little clip from that. So can't say that it's forgettable. You know what I mean? It's a good movie. It's a quotable movie too. I do like it. And you get the ZZ Top cameo, which is great.
It's true. They're in it.
They are. And they threw down. And I was ready to go dance. I was ready to go line dancing after I heard that.
Oh, settle down
Come
there.
on.
You ready to do what now?
Hey, I was about to go line dancing, dude. I got to get me some boots. Be
We
new
can
boot
get you
doofing.
we can get you a pair of boots. That's not too hard.
There you go. I'll take you up on that offer. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta go find some good ones. um, no, yeah, dude. But I guess going into it, since we've already moved out of spooky season, what is a horror movie? One, I'd say favorite horror movie, and then two, a new movie that you've seen, if it was horror or kind of thriller or something.
Well, Ryan, we talked about this, what was it, yesterday? The new
Mhm.
It series.
Yeah,
Oh, have you seen that, Jacob?
Oh yeah.
insane,
Did you like
I
it?
told
absolutely insane.
I told Ryan to watch it.
I
He
hated
did.
it. I hated it.
Like hated it like you didn't like it the writing or
No,
hated
like,
it
because
the
I'm
experience was
disturbed.
really gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think he stopped at episode one, right?
Bro,
Yeah.
you didn't
I was
even
like,
see
I know. I've heard. And I was like, there's no
episode
reason for me to
2.
go watch it.
Episode 2 tops 1 so hard. It's honestly
Oh,
disturbing.
there's no way.
The only thing I've seen from that show was the TikToks of like, obviously those that haven't seen it, you'll find out if you do ever watch it. If not, there's a specific scene that's like really gross, and I saw that on TikTok, and I was telling Jacob about it, and I was like, I don't know, I don't think I can get into it, and he was like, oh, if you think that's bad, wait till episode two, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna watch it. And then he like explained it, and it like piqued my interest a little bit. So I went through and I pushed past episode one, and then I went into episode two because he wasn't gonna tell me what it was. And I watched that, and I was like, dear God, I don't know what I just watched.
You see, fellow listeners, uh, of none. Out of the three of us, I probably am the one that'll watch anything.
Yeah.
There's pretty much no movie that I won't sit down and watch. I'm not gonna, that I won't give it a chance. I definitely will sit through some of the worst movies, some of the most disturbing movies, and then at the end of it, I'll be like, yeah, I should never have watched that, and I'll just regret it
Mhm.
later. But I'll
See,
absolutely sit through it.
I'm the same way, except when it comes to like horror movies. That's like the one thing I'll just turn it off. If it's
Oh
just
no,
a
I
bad
can't.
movie, I'll watch it. But like,
Yeah.
if it's a horror movie, I'll like turn it off.
I can't. If
I
it's
can
a horror
agree with
movie and
that.
it's actually disturbing me, like I'm sitting there and I'm actively getting disturbed, I almost have to double or triple down. It's like I gotta like, well, it can't get worse than this, right? And it's just, it's like, well, I
Ugh.
gotta see where it's going. I'm the guy that will inevitably die in some sort of horror-esque things, and you'd be like, Jacob, why did you go down the alleyway? Well, I was just so curious. I needed to know.
I actually got to test my survival skills the other day. Everybody's seen the movie Strangers, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, so you know that scene where like she's knocking at the door and it's like, is Tamara home? Who knows why? She opens the door and she's talking to her. It's like middle of the night, right? So the other day, I don't know if I told you this, Micah, but I definitely told Jacob. Um, it was like 2 a.m. and my son Oliver, he's like 4 years old. He comes and wakes me up, and he's pounding on the or not. He's not pounding on the door. He's like, "Oh, Dad, there's somebody knocking." I look at the clock. It's 2:15 a.m. and somebody is like boom, 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 pounding on my door. And a little fun fact: I live on the third floor of an apartment building. There should be nobody banging on my door at 2 a.m. So I get up and I go to check the peephole. Absolutely nobody there. I said,
Nice.
I said, this is it. I was like, whatever. And the knocking stops. So I was like, okay, cool. I start walking back to the room. And again, boom, 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 boom. So I go back and I look through the
Nah.
peephole again. I look through the peephole again. Nobody's there.
See, this is what's different between me and y'all because like y'all have like kids and like
Mhm.
wives. So like you guys have to like, stand your ground for them. Me, I'm
Yeah.
out. Like I have no one to show for anyone. So like I'm gone. Like I'm
Where are you gonna
locking the
Mike,
closet.
I
Like
was gonna say, what are you doing? Oh, you're ducking and covering. He's just
yes.
And I kid you not, dude, they were pounding on my door for 15 minutes. And
No,
part of me was like, and that entire time wouldn't show their face. Couldn't see a body, couldn't see a shadow, couldn't see an arm. So
no,
they were
I'm
just
out.
banging on the door. And I was like, I'm gonna go grab a knife and I'm gonna open this door. But then I was like, what if I open the door and they grab me? Like, it's 2 a.m. I can't fight right now.
Bro, and it's like it reminds me of that story. Can't say this. Our coworker told us when we were all for your birthday. Remember, we were all outside, and
Wait, you can tell it, but just don't tell any names.
I didn't say any
I feel
names,
like you can tell it.
you can't put it on the record.
but everyone knows who we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
walks
Oh,
back
you're
into
talking
his
about
room
nice.
where someone's like already broken into his house and starts stealing
Yeah,
things while he's
yeah.
in the house in his underwear. It's like
We've we've got some it's only because of people like that particular coworker who we will know.
Yeah.
Mr. C is what we'll refer
There
to
you
him
you
go.
as.
know. I almost said his name.
No, it's Mr. C because it's a mystery.
There you go. There you
Mr.
go.
C. Uh,
Mr.
yeah, no, I
C.
will say that talking to that individual about certain things, not just that moment, I just go like, you know what? Maybe the horror movies aren't too wrong. Maybe maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
there are people that will, but hey, I'm guilty of that as well. I'm the first person to be. If I have my daughter with me, I'm the most paranoid person in the world. I was at the park with her recently, and I saw a guy. He couldn't have been like closer than 80 feet. That's how far away he was from me. And yet, I carry with me all the time when I take Ellie out. And so, uh, I had my carry on me. I had my hand sitting on top of it the entire time because in my mind, I'm just like, you're not gonna sneak up on me when I'm at the park with my daughter. Uh, Juxtaposition that with the fact that I was down in Deep Ellum once, and this is before Ellie existed, so maybe she made me more cautious. But before, I was in Deep Ellum, and I think there was a shooting literally the night before I went out to Deep Ellum, and
There's always a shooting there. Like,
yeah, there's always
I'm
a
Yeah,
not
shooting
sure,
in
yeah,
Deep
Ryan, if
Ellum.
you
yeah.
ever. This is sketchy,
Oh
super
no,
sketchy.
100%.
Super. You know how they have those like the wall graffiti arts, like
Yeah.
you know, positional. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I want to say everything was shutting down. We were on our way out, and somebody flagged me down in an alleyway, and they go like, "Hey, can you take a picture of us?" And I was just like,
No.
"Absolutely, sir." And I walked over there into an alleyway with like one street light over it, and I proceeded to take a picture of this couple. And I was just like, "Have a great day." And then as I walked away, I looked back and I was like, "Man, that's a dark alleyway. I totally could have just been stabbed and robbed in." I just
You look
walked
back,
right
they have a
into it.
gun pointed at you. Just like,
I think maybe they saw how enthusiastic I was, and they're like, "No, he's too innocent."
That was his little Batman origin story.
It could have been. Damn, so close. I could have
He looked
been
at the
him.
sign, it said Crime Alley. He was like, oh no.
Crime Alley.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, here's the thing. That I feel like yes, having a child changes that, but at the same time, I feel like you got to study the rules of a horror movie. You have to understand that some things just don't need to be explored. And so I stood there at the door while they were pounding on the door. I did not open that for the life of me. I just
Ryan,
whispered to Ivy, Ivy,
if
call
there
the
was someone
cops.
beating on my door for 15 minutes, the only thing I'd be doing during those 15 minutes is contemplating:
Yeah.
am I grabbing the rifle or am I grabbing the shotgun? That's the
Yeah, that's because you have guns. What am I going to say? Oh, let me grab my shoe or a knife.
Ryan. We need to get you a gun. You live in
Hey,
Texas,
Hey,
that's true.
our buddy coworker bought a gun
Mr.
the
C.
next week after that
That
incident.
is also true. Here's the thing.
Hmm. I don't trust him with it, but he's got it.
Yeah,
I'll
that's true.
contemplate it. I'll think on it. We'll see what happens. Well, moral of the story is I survived because of my quick wit,
Of
not
not
opening the
opening the
door.
door, the quick wit of saying, "I don't think I'm gonna go out there."
Kind of going back to what we were saying, like there's not very many like horror films that I like, but there are some. So I was looking up
Mhm,
some like past things that I've watched. Have you guys seen
mhm.
the came out a few years ago, Barbarian? It was like an HBO movie.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
actually
didn't
like
get a
that
chance to
movie.
watch that. Yeah.
You need to watch it.
I
And
heard really good things, and I just never got around to it.
I encourage if if you like horror stuff, it's kind of disturbing, but it's also a pretty good story. It's kind of crazy.
Mhm.
I think it's kind of
Um,
Okay.
wild that you actually sat through that. That movie's pretty disturbing.
it is it is crazy. I just yeah. Now looking back at it, it's but it's like it's disturbing, but like I feel like it's a good story. That's why I kept watching it.
Yeah.
And just of how everything goes. And I'm not sure if we want to talk about spoilers on here, which we probably
But
will, because but
Yeah. But obviously,
yeah,
like, The Barbarian came out when? Like, years
2016,
ago.
uh,
2017. No,
Was
no,
it
no, it was
2000?
way after
No,
that.
there's
No,
no
it was like
way. There's
220,
no.
221,
yeah,
something like that.
2022.
Yeah. 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 So it's been
And
out for 3
so
years. If you haven't seen it,
you
tough
need to
news. You
go
probably
watch
saw it
it.
on TikTok.
You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, but
You
I don't
should go
mind.
watch
I
it.
don't mind.
You
I
should go
will.
watch it. But it's just
Dude, I'll
like
have to study on
it's
it.
a story
the
about
the
like someone tries to rent an Airbnb, someone
Yep.
Yeah.
else is already there, so they get confused and they're like, "Oh, we'll just
Mhm.
stay together because there's no other places." And then they're kind of getting sketched out by the other person
Yeah.
because like things are happening, and then turns out it's neither of them. It's like
Yeah.
someone in the basement, and then there's a scene. It's in the beginning of like they go in the basement to like investigate, and they I think it's like they move a bookshelf, and then there's this room that they find, and it's this empty
Mhm.
room with a bed and a bucket, and it's just like that's creepy, and then it just keeps going further and further down the rabbit hole, and it's a really good movie, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to
I
check it out. The one that I've seen recently that kind of follows a similar format is called The Rental. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
no.
I don't think I
It's kind of
have.
like a woodsy slasher movie, but the two notable actors in that is Allison Brie and Jeremy Allen White. And there's like two other characters in there, obviously, but they're like lesser known. And they all rent this cabin, getaway weekend, whatever, and then they find out that somebody's watching them the entire time. And like the way that the story unfolds and the way it progresses, like what you think is not actually what is happening, and so like it's really cool. I love the way that it was done and the way that it was written. Um, I would add that to your guys' list. If you guys watch that, I'll watch The Barbarian.
Well,
It's
yeah,
it's not
I
as
will.
crazy though. It's not as
But
crazy. It's not like
but
one of
the
those that's like you know.
what's that one movie you recommended? I ended up seeing it was the one with the hand.
Oh, Talk to
Oh,
Me.
Talk to Me.
That's
Fantastic
a good
movie.
movie.
Great
That's
movie.
actually
Great movie. I Here's the thing. I think that there was a lot of creativity there because of the fact that like that was the first feature film that the two I forgot their names. I apologize. But they were doing YouTube shorts for like the
They're
longest time.
never gonna forgive you.
No, they probably won't. If you see this, which you may not, because you're not Ivy. No, it's just our
Or are
only
you?
viewer. Um, no, if you do, I apologize, and I would love to meet you guys in person and see what you guys are working on next. But
You gotta hedge those bets.
with but with that being said, like you go from making YouTube shorts to launching into a feature film and having that be a really good feature film was like it's
Mhm.
impressive. Like that's inspiring. Like I'm like, oh dude, all the time when I think about like, oh, I should shoot something and throw it on YouTube, I'm like, nah, nothing's ever gonna happen. But then you watch A24 picking up all these people, especially with the new one coming out. It's coming out soon. It's called The Backrooms,
Hmm.
about the kid who
Oh
does those
yeah.
like liminal spaces, and he just did YouTube Shorts for the longest time. And then A24 is like, hey, we're gonna pay you X amount of dollars to produce a full length feature film for it. Um, so I'm excited about that. But like, Talk to Me was really good, and I think the one thing that I really love about that was the montage where they take the hand and it has that song overlaid to it because the editing was like I love that's one of my favorite things that I love um, is when people edit on the beat of music. I know
Hmm.
Edgar Wright does that a lot with his movies, and prime example of that is Baby Driver. If you guys haven't seen that, um, he does that. Like a lot of the scenes in that movie have the beat to the music edit. So that's one
People
of the
like
things
it.
that I appreciate. Yeah,
Well,
no,
they
that's
did
one of the
that.
things that I appreciate.
They did that with you probably saw it with like that huge edit that like blew up with Creed. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
I forgot what song was that. It was just like it was a
I
newer
don't know.
song
I
that
don't
came
know.
out within the
Yeah.
last year or so, and it's the same thing. Like they're just making the edit and it just blew up, and then that edit, they just put it on everything.
Is it
Just
Yeah,
crazy.
is it a Kendrick Lamar song?
Yeah, it is.
it
Cool.
is. But they
Never
use
seen it.
the every single. I'll have to send it to you. But every single one of those beats
I just pulled it up.
is to like the sound of punching, and it was really cool because the way that they did it, they were
Mhm.
like transitioning through like the bigger parts of the movie,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I mean,
I
that's something
aspire to
that,
do that one day.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's a level of detail that only specific directors attempt to pull off. I'm not saying it's
Mhm.
impossible for all directors to do it. It's just sometimes music is a secondary thought. It's not the first thought. So when they're shooting and
Mhm.
doing principal photography, they don't have the music that they're going to be playing in the scene already picked out. Where I know like Edgar Wright meticulously already knew most of the music he wanted to do for Baby Driver. So
But
he
Yeah.
see, that's
had it
just like,
playing.
yeah, I'm sorry. It's like that's what makes movies so good is
Hmm.
music. I love
I agree.
That's true.
like the music can like make a movie or like kill it. I mean,
Mhm.
I
one of
I agree.
the Spider-Man like Into the Spider-Verse, like I mean, both those movies have great albums. I
Oh
just
yeah.
Hmm.
listen to those albums; they're so good. And then there's like another one that we talked about, Ryan. On top of it being a terrible written movie, the new Karate Kid movie, it was like
Yes.
terrible. But on top of
Yes.
it, the music was even worse. Like it made it that much worse. Like the music
Yeah.
they chose is like, oh, so bad. I was so sad that was a bad movie.
That movie, oh my gosh, I can't even get started on that because it was so bad that like I have not. It's been a while that I've actively told people not to watch a movie.
No,
Like it was
yeah,
just
it's
so bad. I think I remember talking to Jacob in the break room when we were getting coffee, and I was like, "Oh, have you seen the new Karate Kid movie?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Don't waste your time." And I gave him like beat for beat, like the way that this transpires, and he was like, "Is that all one movie?" Like I'm
so
like, "Did I
bad.
just tell you about Karate Kid or did I tell you about Real Steel?"
Hey, Real Steel's a good movie.
Real
That's a
Steel's a
fire
great
movie.
movie,
That's a good movie.
Fire movie.
but like Karate Kid didn't know what it was. Karate Kid Legends did not know what the movie was, and the only thing that they kept doing was, um, it was littered with just TikTok songs.
Yeah, it just wasn't good.
It's
Now here's the thing. Speaking of
yeah.
soundtracks, there's a movie that I hate, but I can say that a lot of their songs, like the song choices and like the songs created for the movie, they were pretty good, and a lot of them are stuck in my head. But the original Suicide Squad movie, the one with
Oh yeah.
Jared Leto Joker, hated it.
I
Eh,
I don't
Most
I don't
people, some
remember
people
the
like it.
music in there.
They did have a lot of good popular songs, and they
Yeah.
even had some good scenes with those songs. Most people remember the scene with Harley where she shows up and it's playing that
Oh
song.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know the
yeah.
name of the song. Don't even know me or whatever that
Oh
song's called.
yeah.
It's a good song, especially for that character and for that scene. And they have a lot of that in that movie. That I think that's actually a really funny thing. This is something I don't think a lot of people think about. Can y'all think of? I guess for Ryan it's Suicide Squad, but
Yeah.
Micah, can you think of a bad movie with a good soundtrack that you're like, damn it, that was actually kind of good. I like that. Like, why couldn't it have been
Tied
this?
to a bad movie.
Yeah.
Um, like usually it changes because like I mean y'all say it, but I actually love the movies like Tokyo Drift. I love the soundtrack to
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift. It's so
Yeah.
fire. It's so good. But I actually like that movie, so it's kind of indifferent
I
to what
guess
you're saying. But
no, that does kind of touch on it because it's kind of like movies that had a song that was better that like blew the movie out of the water. Like the song
Hmm.
sales, even if the movie bombed, the song like blew up. That's something that's always interesting to me. I know y'all probably haven't seen it, but like The Bodyguard
Bodyguard.
I
with Kevin
haven't seen it.
Costner. It's an old film from 1992. Um, the only reason I know it is because they parodied it with Hitman's Bodyguard. It's a Ryan Reynolds movie with Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Um, they parodied the films. What was it called? The like
Oh,
their little the little marquee, the little what's it called? Like the
yeah, yeah.
billboard. They parodied the billboard, and I thought that was funny. Um, but the whole movie, The Bodyguard, is about Kevin Costner's character having to protect Whitney Houston's character. I don't even remember, like, I think she's like a member of the president's family or some shit. But that's the movie where the song "I Will Always Love You," sang by Whitney Houston, is like that's where it debuted. The song where the and I where she sings it, and that song blew up, and everybody loves that song. That movie is god awful though. One of the worst films I've ever seen. Okay,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
I
the
thought you
worst,
said the
but it's
song
just
for a second. I was like, dang,
no. I
dude,
love
you
that
don't
song.
like
I
Whitney
love Whitney
Houston?
Houston. No, I love Whitney Houston. That's she did such a good job on that song. People, put up with that movie, be like, hey, I don't want to hear this song.
That's
You
real.
know,
I can give you that.
Jacob with all the topical 1992 movies.
I know. I need to start
Fucking
watching
good.
some older movies because, like,
You do.
I
I'm
got you
not
covered.
really like super into them.
Yeah.
But like,
Depends on which one you
I
want.
was telling Ryan the other day, like, I finally watched. It was a few weeks ago. Seven, great
Ah, it's a
Yeah.
good
movie.
movie.
I can't
That's a
believe I
fantastic
haven't seen
film.
it in forever. It's like, I mean, that I'm just looking it up now. It was made in 1995. I was like, that was such a good movie. But obviously, that's like a known, well,
Hmm.
great movie that's was made back in the day. But I finally watched it because like movies back then are made so differently. Like a lot of
Sure.
the
Yeah.
yeah, because like I mean, one of the biggest reasons is because of how short movies were back then,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and so like they kind of like even though the running time on this is what still 2 hours, I guess, but I felt like it could have gone way longer than the 2 hours because of
Hmm.
the all the crimes and stuff that happened. And
Hmm.
like even then with this movie, like they didn't show a lot of stuff. They still did, but I felt like they could have shown more of like the disturbing stuff that the killer was doing and stuff like
Hmm.
that. But still a great movie.
Well, I think what you should do too now, especially if you liked that movie and if you like the way it was edited and filmed, you should. Oh, you probably already seen it. Did you ever see the Facebook movie, The Social Network,
Uh, yes,
with Jesse Eisenberg? Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
Or it's the same director. That's David Fincher.
that was also a pretty good movie.
Yeah, so David Fincher, he does a lot of like he does a lot of like all around the world, like not all around the world, like kind of like he does all these like different genres of movies, but his way of shooting scenes and kind of like the quick pace editing, even if the scene is so slow, like it has no need to be like as quick and choppy as it is. It almost gives you anxiety sometimes. So he can really make a scene feel tense, even as like in The Social Network, it's just a bunch of people sitting at a table doing a
Hmm.
deposition, and I felt like I remember sitting there watching that movie, and I was just like, why am I kind of getting antsy when they're like
Yeah.
going back and forth between the past where the act happened and then going and cutting back to the deposition, and for whatever reason the deposition felt more tense than the actual things happening in the past. And that's just kind of how he is
Hmm.
with a lot of his movies. You should watch Zodiac if you haven't seen it. It's where
I
it's
was
That's a
about the
just
no,
same.
I've
about to
seen
say
that.
that
That's a good movie.
because
That's him too.
while you yeah, while you were saying that, I was gonna bring up Zodiac because you were essentially saying in Social Network he created that tension by jumping back and forth. But I
Hmm.
really like in Zodiac how he created that tension and it was all stagnant. You're in the
Yeah.
one room when they're interviewing the guy who, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure is the killer. Obviously, everybody thinks that. But the way that they're kind of putting the camera on different things to kind of show what person is looking at and like their eye level at the time, and it creates this just like really tense moment where like they think they know, he thinks he's going to get away with it, he does end up getting away with it obviously because they leave that and they don't arrest him, but like it created so much tension and it was just
Hmm.
three people in a room.
I th- I
Hmm.
think the best thing that Zodiac did, hands down, is in almost every kill that happened. I want to say you can see the killer walking up slowly,
Hmm.
methodically, about to do what they're about to do, and he's so carefree about it. Like the scene where he kills the couple on the bay of the lake. I think it's a
Hmm.
Hmm.
lake.
Yeah.
It is so it's so uncomfortable because you just see him standing there, and it's not like he's menacing. You just see him standing there as he's like getting out of his car wherever he came from. He's dressed in a full black outfit, and he's just slowly walking up to this group, and they see him, and the camera kind of pans out a little bit, so you see that there's really nowhere for them to go. The only option they have is to just jump in the lake, and they don't really know what this guy's about to do yet. And I'm just
Hmm.
sitting there going like, dude, it's like you don't have a knife or a gun or something to defend yourself, and then everything happens, and it's super fucking uncomfortable, but I love it.
Not everybody
Great movie.
carries.
I,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I think about. I can't help myself. In a lot of movies, I think about like if this was me and I had my gun on me, would I survive?
Hmm.
And in that moment, I probably would die. It's just
But
like what would you do? He had a gun on him, and I'm like, what are you gonna do? Am I gonna jump and reach for my gun really quick? I'll get blasted. I mean, you just kind of have to hope he wouldn't be intending to murder y'all, and he is just
yeah,
robbing you, because that's what they thought. They're like, oh, you're just robbing us, but no, he's a serial killer. That's It's just the
Yeah.
dice you roll in that scenario.
It's
That's what
and you got to
the
also think that this is set in like
the
1960s through
70s.
1980s. Yeah, around the
Yeah.
70s in San Francisco. Nobody's going to be
Mhm.
carrying in San Francisco.
but
Mhm.
also like remind me because it's been a while since I've seen that movie. In that scene,
Yeah.
Mhm.
he's like over those people and they're kind of like looking at each other and then he just pulls out a rope and throws it at him while he's like pointing the gun at him and then he's like tie each other up and it's like it's weird because in that in the Zodiac and then I think in Seven and even Social Network and I'm looking at some other movies kind of going back to like music and stuff like there's not really
Mhm.
like any like tense music playing during that time. It's just like very still.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and they did a really cool thing if I'm remembering it correctly, and that is the couple's chilling at a lake, and it's the 60s or 70s. So what do they have? They have a little radio just playing some
Hmm.
music. So that's what that music is playing, and we hear it, and then as the scene starts to happen, the radio becomes like background radio music, and then it slowly just deafens as the scene gets like really tense.
Hmm. And I like
God,
that decision too because like a lot obviously everybody makes a movie different, and I think
yeah.
when you some people look at music as a main character, it kind of creates and builds that tension. But I also feel like the way that he uses the absence of that does it more effectively than if there was anything playing in the background or like even
Hmm.
just like a score. You know what I mean? Like having
Yeah.
that silence is like, oh my god. Because then when you're alone in the silence outside somewhere, you're like, somebody watching me?
Yeah,
So
100%.
Somebody got to come
crazy.
up on me?
I think it's really comes down to the fact it's like the director needs to know, and sometimes the editor can save a film too, but and
Mhm.
film, um,
Yeah.
but
And a
the
trailer.
director needs. Yeah, no kidding. Trailer companies are completely separate entities, and the way they destroy films is just real.
They
I would
suck.
like bro, if
Yeah.
I was a director or a writer and like I had shot like one of my favorite films and then a trailer company puts like my entire film out in the first trailer, I would lose my shit, especially if there was a twist. um
Yep.
I think it was, what was
Oh
that
my
movie with,
gosh, dude.
hold on, hold on.
Fast Nine. Or no. Fast Nine. Yeah, Fast Nine. Fast Nine? I think that's Fast Nine. They put Han in the trailer who has been dead for who knows how long. And he just shows up in the background eating snacks. And then they were like, oh, yeah, but we're going to dive into that and like elaborate on that in the movie. I was like, why didn't you just leave it for the movie? Why is he in the trailer?
No, they also did that for oh shoot, who was that actor? In the
That's
first
how
like the Godzilla movie. Was it Bryan
Oh,
Cranston or who was it?
Bryan
Brian
Cranston.
Cranston.
Bryan
It
Cranston.
was
Hmm.
like I felt like he was all over the trailers and it dies
He
within the
was.
first 5 minutes. It was
Yeah,
like,
that was
what
the
is
opposite
this?
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made it seem like he was throughout the movie and he wasn't.
Or yesterday they got sued because they put Anna De Armas in the trailer the entire time, and so somebody who was like a super fan went to go watch it, saw that she's not even in the movie, but she was advertised all throughout of it or all throughout the trailers. He ended up suing and winning a couple $1 million.
That's crazy.
God, dog, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
think the number one thing I can think of, the number one movie, and it's not even that good of a movie. I just remember being so shocked that I was like, how did that get approved?
Shrek
And
2.
no, it's not Shrek 2. It was a movie with Daniel Craig in like height of Daniel Craiginess. Hold on, I'm pulling it. Okay, it's Dreamhouse. Um, So it was
Okay.
2011 Dreamhouse. I remember seeing the trailer in theaters because I
Mhm.
was seeing another movie at the time. Boom, trailer drops, and I was like, "Oh, a Daniel Craig horror movie?" And he's like the new Bond. He's on fire right now. I'm gonna go see a Daniel Craig horror movie. That sounds fun. And then in the movie, in the trailer, they reveal the twist. The entire twist the movie is going to build to. They reveal that he's crazy. I can't remember the exact twist because I remember like I was wondering like, oh, if they're showing this in the trailer that he's just
Mhm.
insane, what's the real twist when you go see the movie, right? But then in the movie they like building to it and then they were like, and he's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. You showed me in the 2 minute trailer that you had at the beginning of the last movie I saw. I
We
was like,
know
that
he's
can't
crazy.
be it. And I just remember uh people talking about it online and then like even the director coming out and saying like hate y'all. I hate this. I hate the trailer company that cut it. Whoever did it, they're like, I can't believe you would put that in the trailer of the movie. I was like, wow, that's insane. That is, I just couldn't imagine. I would lose my shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Speaking of ruining movies through trailers, um, I don't know if you guys know this. I found out. I forgot how I found out. It might have been TikTok, and then I looked it up afterwards. But everybody hated the Brave and the Bold because they thought Hulk, the Red Hulk, was going to be like this huge, like
Mm,
huge part of the movie.
Hmm.
I just hated it because it was a bad movie. But what
I don't think
happened
it was that
was,
bad.
what happened was McDonald's actually released the toys too early, and Red Hulk was a part of the lineup, and so that was
Yeah,
supposed to be a surprise. And then because of that, they had to go back, edit him into the trailer, and then they released it.
yeah.
but he was like, wasn't he also like in the poster?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They had to
His fist
redo a
was.
lot of their marketing because
That's
Harrison
so
Ford was in it,
dumb.
but they redid the marketing because McDonald's dropped the toy like months before they were supposed to.
I think.
And I think that's what most people who like love or don't love the movie, but like try to like say the movie's good. And I think the movie's good. Like I'm
I
on the
think.
side that was like the movie's good. It's just again, it was just marketed bad. It should just been marketed as a
I
Anthony
don't think it was a good
Mackie
movie.
movie without the Red Hulk because he's only in
I'm
the
gonna.
last bit of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with Mike on this.
Y'all are
I
gonna
can't
tear me
call it a
apart.
bad movie. I can't call it a bad movie. I can't call it a great movie, so it has to be in the middle. It's a mid
Hmm.
movie, but that would still make it good. I'd say like a 6 out of 10. If a five is average, it's like a six. Uh,
Ah.
it is
See,
maybe a
it's
six
crazy
or
because like
seven.
this is where I feel like this is 6, 7. Um, I
Nice.
feel like this is where we
Good
I
job,
feel
30-year-old.
like I
I'm in.
feel
He's the
like
youngest one out of all of us.
Oh, isn't he like what,
no,
24?
no, I just turned 27, dude. I'm an old head. No, I just
Oh
kidding.
yeah.
No, but I feel like here's the thing. Here's the problem. I feel like we typically agree. Like sometimes I'll go left field and I say, "Oh, that's bad," and you guys will say, "Oh, that's good," and then you'll like, we also end up on the
It's
same
like,
number.
what's your rating? It's like a six. It's like I gave it a six too, and you're like trashing the movie.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's under a 5.
No, I don't.
Now, here's
I
my
think
reason. Here's
okay.
my
I
reason.
disagree.
This is what we'll do going forward because I think this just answers my our biggest concern, and that is if we are going to be arguing about a movie in the future, we gotta set it up right at the beginning. We gotta be like, all right, before we even get into this, what the were you rating this? Because I know you didn't like the movie, and if you say six and I say six, we're not doing this.
This
That's
is
what we.
not
This
3B certified.
I know. That's what when me and Ryan went to go see Thunderbolts. I actually kind of
Yeah,
liked it. I was like,
I
it's like a
love Thunderbolts.
seven, like 7.2, 7.3. And he was like kind of trashing it. I was like, well, what do you rate it? He's like 7.3, 7.5. I was like, we rated the same thing, and he's
we
trashing the movie.
did. I.
I
So
give Thunderbolts like an 8.5 to a 9. I actually really
that's
like
That's kind of
Thunderbolts.
high,
crazy.
but I liked it. I
That's
I
liked it.
that's
really
very high.
But see, like I liked it a lot, but I still gave it like I think it was like a 7.5, 7.6. This is why that
Yeah,
area.
I think a realistic aspect for it would be around the 7 range, and these are the reasons. Okay, I think that the practical coming back is really good. I think that the writing for some of the characters is really good. I don't like Florence Pugh's fake accent. I like.
Who is
There's
Florence
just
Pugh?
something. Yelena.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's gorgeous. I think her accent's fine.
There's
Yeah,
just
that's
something
what I said.
about it
That's
that
what I
feels there's
said.
something about it that feels too fake and too forced. Um,
It's a
I
comic book
do
movie.
I do like well that's what I'm saying, but like you get a dialect coach, dive a little bit deeper into like learning it. I don't know. There's a lot of other people that can do really good accents, and I just don't think hers landed for me, and that took me out of it. And then also I did like David Harbour. I do like the development for a lot of the characters. There's
Mhm.
just they advertise Taskmaster to be in the whole film, and
That's yeah,
he
that's
clearly
another one.
dies,
I agree.
or like right in the beginning.
But
Um,
hold on. Yeah,
and
we'll
they
do this.
saved the world with the power of a hug. I'm never gonna get over that.
But
I
it's
don't like that.
okay, I hear you. Okay, I hear what you're saying, and this is why I'm going to push back because I am actually on a different number than y'all are. If we were all in
He's at
sevens,
like
I would just,
10.
yeah. If we were all in sevens, I'd just be like, all right, yeah, I hear you. It's all right. But no, I'm
Yeah,
going to push back on you on this, and the reason is because of this. Um, her accent is totally fine. I think it's serviceable, gets the job done. It's not a deal breaker. I don't. But this is to each their own. It's not like what's her face, Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. Dear God, like
absolute garbage.
I
One
just
out of
can't
10.
Hmm.
I can't stand her accent, and they like double triple down on it. But no,
Galactro.
I think that scene with Yelena and Red Guardian where she's talking about how alone she is, and it's a father and a daughter, kind of like it's a dad that loves his daughter and thought that he's been there for her this entire time, and he's trying to be this strong character, and then she's crumbling in front of him. He doesn't know what to say. He's like literally like he doesn't he's wordless. He has nothing he can say. He's just trying to get her to understand that she's wrong. um,
Mhm.
that scene is so strong. Those two actors are killing it in that scene, and they have multiple scenes like that in the movie where there's just these really tight character driven moments, and I love those types of things. I love seeing my comic book characters say, "Hey, we can be serious like this," and I love that kind of stuff. So that always bumps a movie for me. And because this movie, the entire movie, was about character, self love, and overcoming your darkness, that's why I don't mind them defeating the darkness with that type of mentality. Um, and it wasn't about the power of love beating him. It was about letting him know he wasn't alone because he tried to beat it by himself. And what happened is the void started to take over. Only when they all came together and they showed him that he had a support system, that's the only time he was able to beat it. So it's not just, hey man, you can hug your problems away. They didn't. What they did is they showed him that he wasn't alone and that he could work through them with his friends or his family.
In
Fuck
my
you.
humble opinion, it's
It's about to
in
go
my
off.
humble opinion, okay. I can see where you're coming from. One thing I've learned about you, Jacob, is you
Oh
can
no.
sell me on anything. You can sell
Oh
me on
no.
anything. You could sell me a polished turd. And in the moment when you're telling me the story and all this stuff and breaking it down, I'm like, wow, maybe he's right. And then I really, once you're done, I contemplate it and I'm like, no, he's full of it. He's
That
here's the
just makes it
thing.
sound like you're stubborn.
No, well, I
Oh,
100% am,
you are.
but
Yeah.
no, 100%. But I like okay, I give you those points and they are valid. However, coming from a standpoint of like the whole mental health healing journey, I feel like in that realm of mental like I guess what would you call it? Mental health writing, whatever.
Hmm.
I feel like Moonlight did a better job. That's just me. Because I feel like they were fairly similar. Hero dealing with a broken mind that's like he's working through it. I really feel like Moonlight did a better job at highlighting that and like pushing through those details and actually having a hard hitting moment and like making it like if I had to rate Moon Knight, I would probably give it an 8 for that storytelling aspect. Thunderbolts, I just feel like there was a lot going on, and for me, it just didn't land well. And that's why. And here's the thing: it's still I give it like a 7.5. I'm not giving
Yeah,
it like a
I know.
3. You know,
Yeah, I know. And
like
I'm not
Brave New
trying to
World.
convince you to bump it to like an 8 or 9. I don't. I'm not trying to do that. I just when I hear those types of things, I'm like, it's not that deep. Plus,
Yeah,
anybody that's gonna sit there and say, "Whoa," I think that
What
was
was that?
I don't know. Was that you, Micah?
It wasn't me. It made me jump.
what
Yeah,
was
I
Some
it?
saw it.
audio.
It had to be you, Ryan. Something just scratched the mic, and like it was really. Oh, it was you, Ryan.
It
You're.
was
I can look
me.
at your levels. You peaked super hard.
My bad. There
Um,
was dust on my laptop, so I moved it. I didn't. I thought it was in my AirPod. I
no,
didn't know
all I
that
was
the
gonna say,
audio was still picking up from
I
here.
if you're
thought
gonna,
someone was scratching my brain.
my brain, get out of my head, Marvel.
I can't
Um,
know.
no, I think that's a valid criticism. I really do. What's not a valid criticism is you saying they advertise Taskmaster. Ain't nobody sitting there going like, "Oh man, Thunderbolts is coming out, bro. Yeah, yeah. I know you're excited for that Taskmaster. Hell yeah, man. Can't wait to see
Yeah, but
Taskmaster. Favorite part of
brother,
Black Widow is when they completely took a character from the comics and butchered the shit out of them that they weren't even the same character. Love that.
that's what.
Can't wait to
Okay, but
see
here's
that
my
more.
thing. Here's my thing. Here's
They
my
killed
thing.
him so we can have the real Taskmaster later.
U.S. Agent had really great story development. I thought,
Okay.
and this was my hope. A boy can dream. I thought that they were going to take the crappy Taskmaster from Black Widow, and because they advertised it so much and like they were trying to step it up and come back up, I thought that they were going to do a revert and better story development through Thunderbolts. They decided not to, and they just decided to pop her in the head.
Yeah, I appreciate
I
that.
agree because I was like, I think when I was watching with you, like, are they gonna come back? And then it just never came back. It was like,
Yeah,
I I loved it. Honestly, that was probably the first part I started to smile. I was like, "Oh, thank God they killed Taskmaster." It's like when they blew her head off, I was just like, "Yes, thank God." I was just the character wasn't the character.
that's
and if
fair.
they're not and if they're not going to do the character uh even partially right, and I don't mean like just because it wasn't Taskmaster's not a chick in the comics, I don't care. They could have done a gender swap and I would have been cool with it. It just still needed to be the actual character in some form or fashion, and it just wasn't. It gave me big Deadpool vibes from like Wolverine Origins, where I was
Mm,
like I was
yeah,
like I was like this isn't, you can call him
yeah,
Deadpool
I
but
give you
that's
that.
not Deadpool. And I'm like so as I was like, yeah, let's just wash it and start over and we'll do another one later.
I can see that. I feel like okay, I can give it a little bit more grace for that, but I probably still keep my score at a
That's fine. I'm not mad.
same.
'Like I
7.5.
said,
My favorite part of the movie is
you
like when the void like first comes out, and me and Ryan were watching it, and like that little girl's looking at him, and just
I
like,
knew it was gonna
oh,
be that,
man, we
bro.
died.
Dude, that was everybody's favorite part in my theater as well, because
Yeah,
my theater was super engaged. Like when that happened, everybody, you could hear a pin drop. Everyone went, oh, and then there was just one guy in the back
yeah,
that went, oh, and then the theater died laughing because
yeah.
it was like they just killed a kid.
No, I remember that. We were literally sitting there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like he saved her," and he's talking. The minute it happened, me and Michael just went, "Oh."
Yes.
It was like, "There's no way they did that." But that's also okay. Here's my thing. That's also the one thing that I didn't like about the Void is that like
Is a cheat.
it's kind of because yes, he traps people in their own mind and like in their own reality that's like negative, but when they save him, they just come back and it's like nothing happened except for the city was slightly destroyed. And so it's like, you know, I don't know. I just
I
feel
agree with
I
that.
don't know. There was just a lot there that I was just like, okay, yeah, if they didn't save him, they'd be trapped in their heads and like, yeah, that sucks, but like realistically, the stakes for people actually getting harmed or injured weren't there.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the problem is I don't know enough about the Sentry to like tell you like, oh, what can the Void really do? I know he's like super
Mhm.
strong. He's essentially like kind of like Marvel's Superman in a
Mhm.
way, but I don't read Marvel like that, so I just
Yeah.
know like little clips of his accomplishments. All I could say is that you know the threat that they depicted in the movie for it is just it's not so much like, hey, being in your worst nightmare is pretty lame. It's more of like he wouldn't have stopped spreading. He would have encompassed the entire planet, and it doesn't seem like there's
That's true.
anything anybody could have done.
And I will say the creativity in it, I do like the design of it where when he turns into the
Yeah, that was
void and
dope.
you just get the eyes. And then I did see that the director really pulled from like the aftermath bombings in Hiroshima, and that's why like a lot of the people when they explode or go into the void, they just become a,
A scorch.
yeah, a little scorch mark on the concrete. I
That's
actually
sick.
really like that. There was a lot of visually appealing things done in the movie that I really liked. I was just nitpicking at the time because obviously, like, there was just things in there that I was just like, I don't like that. But overall, like, would I recommend that movie to watch? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say if you wanted to like if someone asked me like, "Hey, should I?" It's like, would it be okay for me to know about like this team? I'd be like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, watch it. It's cool to know where these characters are at by the end of the movie. It's cool to see where they're at, and it sets up like a potential conflict for the overall universe in the future."
Well, see,
Yeah, but
that's what my
also,
thing is. Like, it just made me excited for the newer movies that are going to come out with
mm,
Marvel. It was like that's why I liked it because it just made me excited.
Yeah, I
same
wish I
because it
was
was a
more
good
excited
movie.
about Fantastic Four.
I wish I liked it more.
I did
It was
too.
good.
It
It
was.
was
It's
okay. It
just
was like it was all right. I think that one I also gave a 7.
yeah, I'd give
Yeah.
that like a 7 or an 8, and that's the problem is like two movies came out at the exact same time,
Yeah,
and my expectations were really high for Superman, and I was like, this movie needs to be really good, and I really loved that
Superman
movie.
was good though.
I really
Fire.
love Superman,
Superman
Fire.
was
and
good,
we're
and
gonna
that's
talk
coming
about
from like
Fire.
yeah,
I don't like the character in comics, and we've already gone over this,
yeah,
Jacob.
yeah, 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 yeah.
However, that movie was really good,
That
but
movie was
So
I feel
great.
good.
like that's also because I trust James Gunn a lot.
Same. But the thing is, I think that both DC and Marvel were in the same boat in a weird way. Like both
Yeah.
movies needed to be great, and I feel like
Hmm.
only Superman was great at the end of the day,
Hmm.
and Fantastic Four was just a little bit better than good. You're just like, oh,
Yeah.
that was fun, that was a good time, and you think about it positively. But fuck me, man. Every once in a while, I forget that I've seen it, and I go, oh shit, yeah, Fantastic Four came out, and I should never forget, and
Yeah.
that's what kind of bothers me. Is like, man, I wish I liked it more. I wish it was a little bit better.
But like, here's the thing with Marvel, they had a streak where really they lowered the bar so far that anything coming out that was remotely decent, we were like, oh man, that's pretty good. But
Yeah.
like DC, unfortunately, has been so bad. I know you like the Snyder cut. I
I
got to
mean, I
get
like the
around to
Snyder cut,
maybe
but
liking it, but it's been so bad that like you get James
I
Gunn
would,
working on this project, and that's the only James Gunn is probably the only one of the only directors that I can let drop a needle that many times in a movie and still
yeah.
enjoy every single song and every single plot point.
Think about this, and this is where I'm at right now, and because I had to Google it real quick, because I was like, what's the next? What I'm just gonna ask both of y'all, what is the next Marvel movie without Googling it? What's the next one that's coming out?
The next one,
It's isn't it? It's got to be Doomsday.
I thought Spider-Man comes before
No,
Doomsday.
Spider Man. I thought Spider Man comes out after.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ryan's right. The next
yeah,
movie is Doomsday. So I,
That's crazy.
it's
yeah,
crazy because it feels like we're just like what? How did we get here? Like there's the buildup doesn't
Yeah,
feel built. It just
no,
they were
I
just
agree.
like and I go like, oh shit, man! Like we're just in Doomsday. We're in the next big thing already.
yep. And it's because they're gonna reset the universe. They're gonna do all that other stuff. I think the reason they did that because it was supposed to be King Dynasty, and King Dynasty should have already come out
Yeah,
a little while ago.
yeah,
But obviously they had to revamp and redo whatever, so they're just using Doomsday to reset completely.
yeah,
And from what I hear, it's just going to go ahead and like eliminate all of our legacy characters and then start fresh, which I feel like sucks because like I think you'd have to give me a whole new set of characters and not just a reboot of same character, different actor, because I really feel like the choices that they picked for these characters in Phase One, moving all the way into Infinity War and Endgame, like those were like the top picks in my opinion. Like they embodied the characters that they were playing, and they gave it their all. And Marvel was still trying to prove their point, and like it hit home. So I feel like with all the recasting and like all the redoing of all these other things, I guess we'll see. I don't know. But I
I
am
just
glad that
don't.
Toby's back for more.
Yeah, I do like the idea of Toby coming back, but like, what are they gonna do? Like, that's the thing is like, my brain is kind of racked here, where I'm just like, okay, so what are we gonna reset? Like, we've got seven or eight actors I can think off the top of my head that are
Mhm.
brand new actors that got signed on that are coming on to this film, this entire series or this franchise,
Mhm.
and we're just going to cut them off right now. So anybody that's invested in Miss Marvel, anybody that's invested in Kate Bishop as Hawkeye, uh, anybody that's invested in Shuri as Ironheart, they're gone because I just can't imagine they're going to try and keep those going.
No.
Uh, we're going to. What about Sam as Captain America? Is he just going to be cut out too? Or are they just going to reboot and do a new Captain America, but start back over with Steve? Same thing with like Bucky, or we retelling that
Mhm.
story. Like all these characters that there's so many characters going on right now, and so many stories that are left unfinished. That I'm
Yeah.
like, is it? I was like, damn, a reboot right now really does feel like a shit. We just got to pull the cord on this direction and start over. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it's really risky. I think it's really risky going with a movie that resets everything. It's not like the comics where the comic book lines can kind of continue outside of things. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Well, so if they were to do something that resets everything, I think that this is the way to do it. As much as I don't agree, like I'm kind of skeptical with the idea of like the direction they're going. This is
Mm,
the way to do it because obviously it's going to go. I'm pretty sure Doomsday, Brand New Day, then Secret Wars, and Secret
yeah,
Wars is obviously where they introduce Battle World. They essentially merge these two universes. And I feel like they're also going to use that to catapult the live action Miles Morales into this.
yeah,
And so that is what I'm excited for because I feel like there's a lot there with Miles Morales that needs to be explored. And that, like, obviously the video games are really good and like his comics are really good, but I feel like having a live action and really introducing that is going to be cool. Um, so as much as I'm like skeptical of where they're going with it, I do also feel like this is the best route to go with it because from the comic standpoint, like this is a huge event that really merges two universes, and then they figure out what to do from there.
yeah. I mean, I'm hopeful, but there are like characters that I don't want to lose on the side. Like, I love the guy that plays Daredevil, and I really want him to keep
Oh
on.
yeah.
I like Jim
Yeah.
Bernthal as the
When does
Punisher.
the
I really
new
want them.
series come out?
I think it's coming out next year, like early next year, because I think they
Mhm.
already wrapped on filming. But I it's weird. I'm in a weird place with Marvel right now when it comes to their
Yeah.
movies. I want them to do so much better, but I also agree that they do probably just need to restart. And it sucks too because I want the cooler ideas. I'm a big fan of the mystic side of Marvel. So like Doctor Strange
Hmm.
was my in for those types of things. And I'm like, hey, when
Mm.
are we gonna get Mephisto? When are we gonna get fucking Ghost Rider? When are they gonna start
Hmm.
showing up? And they're like,
Do
never.
like a Midnight
I was
Suns
like,
movie.
damn it, come on guys.
Yeah.
Dude, bro, Ghost Rider is like one of my favorite Marvel characters. I'm just waiting for them to do him right.
Yeah. You didn't
Besides the
like
Agents
Nicolas
of Shield,
Cage?
no.
Nicolas
I mean,
Cage, bro.
he's fun. Go
Dude,
watch
Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider? Top
go
tier.
watch the Agents of
Fire.
Shields episode. There's like 6 or 7 where they brought Ghost Rider in from the comics, and he's so lore accurate. I was like, yeah, this is Ghost Rider. He's doing a great job.
Okay, you'll have to send me those and I'll watch them. Um but yeah, I just feel like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot going on there that I guess we'll wait and see what happens.
It's just gone to like, just like anything. It just gets to a point where it's like it's gone too big. You just can't go big anymore.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Do you think?
Yeah,
Do you got the fatigue, Micah?
The fatigue. I'm always tired.
I meant the Marvel fatigue.
I do, because it's like
me too. I hate to
it's
say it, but
just
yeah.
I don't know because they like I'm trying to think before like I wouldn't say it was huge into Marvel. Like before Iron Man, what was it? It was like X-Men was kind of like the biggest thing they've done to date
Yeah.
before Iron
Yeah.
Man,
Mhm.
and they kept that going for a while. Then so that was what by mostly by Fox, if I'm correct.
Mhm.
And then it kind of just again just reset with Iron Man and just like this whole new thing of Marvel and like Iron Man was such a big hit, and then like okay, let's keep introducing new stuff, right? You know,
Mhm.
I think actually Hulk was before Iron Man, was it or no?
No, Iron
Incredible
Man was the
Um,
Hulk.
first one.
The Hulk was, but that was outside of the Iron Man universe.
Iron Man started the MCU.
Yeah.
Like that's
So
the first film.
Iron
Okay.
Man was the one where they actually had a plan and a phase, and they had all of the
Right,
rights to
right.
the characters. So like, Fox had X-Men, and I believe they had what, Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
And
had
then
everything.
Sony had Spider-Man, and so uh, it was Sony was making their movies, Fox was making their movies, but then Marvel came together and were like, okay, we still have the rights to these characters. Let's go ahead and push forward and do like a whole thing that we see today. But Iron Man was the one that kicked that off. But they were
Yeah.
trying to tie in the Incredible Hulk with Iron Man, so that's why he
Mhm.
pops up at the end.
Gotcha, gotcha.
But it wasn't necessarily supposed to be like that whole thing. But Iron Man did kick it off. But the Hulk was a standalone, the first
But
one
see, it's like
with Jeff
it's
Bridges.
it's in that like in that sense of like kicking it off, right? And like that was so long ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like
2005, 2007.
No, I thought it was
that's
2001.
crazy.
No, it
Let me
was
see.
2001, bro. That's like Spider-Man territory.
Oh, you're right.
2008,
2002 was Spider-Man 2. Top tier
2008.
movie.
I just pulled it up.
Top tier movie. Spider-Man 2, goated. Best Spider-Man of all time.
When was
Just
Iron Man?
2008.
See, like that's so long ago. It's just like how much can you like
We're coming up
build on
on.
top of it?
I mean, true. I
Yeah.
mean, think about it this way. In 3 years, so by the time they wrap their next story, like their big
Mm-hmm.
thing, it'll have been 20 years of Marvel movies. That's fucking wild, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's nothing to scoff at. They did a great job. It's just
Yeah, all right.
they
Yeah, they did.
they they built up to Infinity War, and that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it landed the plane so well. You're just like, all right, guys, runway's yours. What's next? And they're like, everything. We're gonna just shotgun a shit ton of stories out, and
Yeah.
we're going to saturate your feed with a billion storylines. And you're like, oh, cool. How are they all gonna tie in together? And they just went, what? What was the last
Said,
part?
Yeah.
what happened?
Well, that's
You
like
want us to
that's
do
just
what now?
with I think just like a lot of like variables that like played into it because that's when on the back end of that COVID happened, streaming hit an
Mm-hmm.
all-time rise, so they Disney Plus launched. So it was like, okay, now we have Disney Plus, let's just launch. So like what you're saying is just like so many projects or so many just crap that we can just put
Mm,
out there, not necessarily movies, just like these series that you can just watch on Disney Plus that
Yeah.
yeah,
doesn't really connect to stuff. So it's like, and then like they'll put out a movie is like, well, a lot of that stuff ties into like the series and Disney Plus series
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of people haven't watched. And they're like, people aren't going to go back and watch it unless you're like a super fan. And it's
yeah,
like, the, this is like the reason why things get so big is not because of like the diehards. It's because like
Mm-hmm.
an average Joe can go in and love the movie,
yeah,
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why things get so big. And that's how Marvel
Yeah.
got so big. It's because like besides the people who love comics, besides the people who just love superheroes, your average Joe, families, moms, dads, kids can go in there and just love it. Now, when you like tie all these things, like oh, you got to watch this, you got to watch that, you got to know this, you got to know that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't become as
hmm
popular because like people don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. I agree 100%. And you kind of nailed it. I think the biggest part is when you tell a story that you're going to try and connect in an overarching universe, you can't do big stakes in small shows. And I think that really showed with some of the um, Disney Plus shows. Some of the things that they did, they're just like, we can't mess. We're gonna fake big stakes. We're gonna make you feel like this show is like risking the whole world, but don't
Mm-hmm.
worry, everything will go back to normal by the end of the series because we can't mess anything up. Or you're gonna be wondering, well, what the hell was that? I mean, like we already saw what that happened when the Eternals bombed. I know that was a movie and that wasn't a TV series, but that was a great example of, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
put the fear in everybody, and they go like, well, shit, we don't want to do an Eternals level event where a literal giant monster is coming out of the earth. right? It's a celestial coming out of the planet, and then the movie bombs. So for the longest time, Disney and Marvel just pretend like it didn't happen, and it took
Mm,
what honestly, I think what it was it 5 years almost for them to acknowledge it happened, and they offhandedly acknowledge it a little bit in the most recent Captain America film, and then it becomes like a plot point towards the middle of the movie. But even then,
mm.
it's kind of just like a, hey, we just got this mineral from this giant thing in the middle of the ocean. And we're like, are we not talking about this still? Like, it's like I feel like this is a bigger deal than than just the mineral we're getting off of it.
My bad. I gotta fix my thing.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah.
it took 4 years. It took four years for them to talk about it. I googled it.
Hmm. Yeah, I just feel like around that time I had already hopped off the train. There, I feel like there's a lot of Marvel movies that I just didn't watch because
Yeah,
there was a lot coming out that was just not that great. And then I feel like I feel bad because of that, um, there were movies that people were saying were good that I just didn't watch. Like I heard Shang Chi was really good, didn't watch
that
it
was good.
because I didn't
It's a
watch
good movie.
Eternals. I didn't watch
That was good.
Captain Marvel,
That
and a
wasn't good.
couple other ones. And so like that's why it was because those were back to back, and then we hit Shang Chi, and I was like, oh, I'll just watch that when it gets out of theaters. And then it got out of theaters and onto Disney Plus, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna ever watch this.
Shang-Chi was good. The Captain Marvel was mid. It's not a terrible movie. It's just like it's mid. And especially after I think it was in
Yeah.
Infinity War, it was a terrible place for that movie to be at, especially after coming off the massive high of Infinity War.
Mm.
The movie that was bad was the Marvels, the one with Captain Marvel and
Yeah.
Miss Marvel and
Oh
Monica
yeah.
Rambeau.
I didn't even
Those
watch that.
that
I saw
movie
the
I did
trailer and I was
watch it.
like, that looks bad.
I watched it. And I
I
wanted to
didn't
give it
watch
a
it.
shot. I wanted it to be better than what people were talking about, and
Tragic.
unfortunately, it just wasn't, and it is a real shame. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, there's been a lot of that. I think, honestly, in a weird way, the Marvels is this. Uh, it kind of is like the biggest symptom of the problem with Marvel right now as a movie or as a franchise, and that is you watch the Marvels not because you want to enjoy the film. You watch it because somebody told you, "Hey, this is going to tie the X-Men in later because there's an X-Men scene at the end of the credits."
Yeah, that's it.
And you
But like
and
the
you go
problem
like, "Well,
is,
I want to know why the X-Men are coming." And so you watch this movie.
Yeah.
and it has nothing to do with it except what she like sacrifices her life, right, or something like that, and like ends up in the
Yeah,
alternate universe.
yeah. In the end, the character, one of Monica Rambeau's character,
Mm.
I think her name's Spectrum. If I can't remember, but her power somehow allows her to kind of like bridge for a second, and she ends up in a different universe, and it's the X-Men universe.
Yeah, but like the crappy part about that is like they didn't really give her they gave her a really big sacrifice, but no character development.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel got her own movie. Miss Marvel got her own show. Monica Rambeau got like in total probably 10 minutes of watch time through WandaVision.
yeah.
So it's like you want to sacrifice a character that nobody really is invested in because they don't care because they don't know them. And so like that's what I feel like a lot of the what we were seeing after Endgame is like a lot of unnecessary sacrifices and emotional pull for people that we just don't care about because you haven't made us invest in them as much.
I'll give them credit. They tried to make you like not like her, but they tried to make you invested in her in the movie. They gave her this unique dynamic
Mm,
of of like a relationship with Carol, because Monica's mom died horribly of cancer, and so she was
mm,
watching her mom get withered away by cancer, and then she gets snapped while her mom's like in the biggest like fight for her life,
mm,
and she literally it was really and I will say this, and this is why I get sad because I get upset about it because I'm like, man, this is a really good writing decision, and that is, it's Monica Rambeau sitting there and she's telling her mom, I'm gonna be here, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, gets snapped from existence, right?
mm,
Then her mom dies during the 5 year blip between the snap, and so she just comes back, she's standing in the middle of an operating room, everybody's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And she's like, "Mom, mom," and then it just cuts, and it like that's the opening scene to the Marvels is like her coming back, and I go like,
mm.
"That's phenomenal, that's great, what a
Yeah.
terrible moment." And then they give her this weird dynamic with Carol where she like resents Carol because after she comes back, she hasn't seen Carol for X amount of years since they beat Thanos, and she kind of like
Hmm.
resents her, like, hey, you're my only family left, and you just disappeared off world as soon as Thanos was taken care of. Why didn't you come back? And then they just don't really linger on it for long. There's not enough conflict for us to like really side with her. And I go like, damn, there was something there.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, and I feel like that would probably hit more again if we knew the character better.
Yeah.
Like you're again, I would appreciate moments like that for character development and like hard hitting scenes when you know the person, you know the character, you know all this other stuff.
Hmm.
Not just like, oh, we introduced them in this, but we don't even explain the powers. We don't explain anything. We just kind of we're going to throw her into a movie with two other characters that we've given significantly more.
Yeah.
One got a standalone movie with cameos throughout multiple movies, and then the other one again got their own show to break down the powers, break down who they are, break down their backstory, and then you give all of the sacrifice to one character that you showed for 10 minutes in another show that wasn't even her show.
I
She
think
just
that
stumbled in there on accident.
I think more and more I think about it right now, it's I think the Marvels might have actually been originally just, I know it already is Captain Marvel 2, but I think originally it might have been the introduction for Spectrum. I think it was probably meant to be her introduction film after WandaVision, and
Mm-hmm.
then kind of like have a
Mm,
movie spent for these two characters, and then shit hit the fan somewhere, things got pushed out, and they're like, hey, we got Miss Marvel too. We might as well tie her in. Why can't we write her into the movie? Her show did pretty good. People like her online. And then
Yeah.
it kind of just forced Monica's character to get sidelined super hard. And I think honestly a film that probably would have done better. And I like Miss Marvel. I like the character and I like the actress. I
Mm-hmm.
think she wasn't needed in that film. She doesn't really bring
Yeah.
much to the film at all, honestly.
And that's my main gripe. But again, I guess we'll see what happens for the future of whatever else they're trying to plan.
Well, we've been chit
But
chatting for about an hour and some change now.
yeah, no, it's been great. We literally rabbit trailed everywhere. I think we went from horror movies to, or we went from favorite
for a
movies to
little
horror
bit, and then
movies to slasher movies, directors, and then now we're in Marvel.
It all comes
Um,
back to Marvel.
no,
for
literally
real.
everything is Marvel. No. No, what I was gonna say is, we should obviously keep up because we have the app. It's called Q. The reason I say that is because the watch list, as we're doing this, and obviously we've seen different movies and we haven't seen other movies, it'll be a good thing to download and follow along. You guys can follow us. I will put all of our usernames somewhere in the comments or somewhere in the description. Follow us on Q. You can keep up with what we're actively watching, what we're adding to our list, and then what we've already seen. And I feel like that'll be a fun thing. You guys can feel involved and just kind of be there, feel like you're contributing to it, and just keep up with us while we're watching movies, and you do the same. All right. Well, next episode, those are our topics we're gonna hit on. We're
All
gonna
of those
dissect
things.
Jared Leto, really bad movies, and follow us on Q. All right. Later,
That's it.
everybody. That's it. This is
Deuces.
three beans in a pod.
There you go.
Three bean fresh.
Oh
Insert clever outro here.
We give you three big beans. No, I'm
that's
just
what we
gonna.
need. We need a good intro and outro.
Yeah, it's coming. Just take this and live your life. Have a good
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Cut.
Be careful out there.